Okay, here we are. This is lesson 3 of how to draw a Ford Fusion, and we did quite a bit on the front end yesterday, but today we refined that a little bit, darkened up some of the areas and worked on new areas so that you can see where we're going with it. Again, I like to do the darkest areas first, and I did a lot of those in the grill area and underneath the car. But now I'm darkening them up and kind of refining some of the details so that you can see where we're going with it. And also we want to be sure that we're getting a good separation of the highlights and the dark areas. So I'm darkening up the dark areas and trying to lay off on the light areas so that I don't get them too close together. Because this isn't a painting, because I don't use color, I only use black ink. Therefore, I can only use either a very light gray or total blackness. So I have to make sure that I leave enough light places so that the black shows up against it, and that gives a good drama and a good explanation of what we're doing here. But so far, it's just like what I thought it would be. It's coming along like the vision of what I had the card looking like. So I'm happy with the way it's going so far. I just have to make sure we keep going in the right direction and I don't do anything wrong. This at this point, when I'm really not very far along in the drawing, I could scrap this whole thing, but I don't do that anymore. When I first started out, I used to throw away 2 drawings and keep 1. So I would do 3 drawings in order to get 1. But then I figured out that I can almost save every drawing. If you don't darken up an area that's supposed to be absolutely white, then I still have a chance of being able to save it. But I try not to do that anymore. I try to be sure that I do the areas that I'm really thinking about. So while I'm doing the drawing, I'm also looking at the photograph and I'm trying to make sure that I do it in such a way that I'm preserving the highlighted areas, but I'm darkening up the dark areas. So I've still screwed up once in a while, but most of the time it's pretty easy to keep yourself out of trouble. And this does take some time. This process of drawing by stippling is not as fast as some others. Like I've seen guys do beautiful, beautiful drawings in pencil and very quickly too. This is not quite that quick, but I'm very happy with the way they turn out, and it's the way I enjoy working on it. So it's the way I would do it anyway. So that's the way that is. But this drawing is going to look great. I know it doesn't look like much to you yet, but once we tie it all together, I think you're going to find that it's going to come out very nicely. And here I'm trying to do the dark area. On the photograph that I have, virtually all the lower area of the car is because it's a black car, just totally disappears into each other. So the right side tires, the ones that are really dark, are going to be virtually the same color as the lower edge of the car, and everything's going to kind of meld together down on the bottom. So the only way that I'm going to have to show any highlights are going to be the parts that are up above that catch some ambient light, some regular atmospheric light, or a light from the sun or from wherever, and that's what I'm waiting for now. Some of those areas are going to be fairly light, but like I say, everything at the bottom virtually is going to be just almost totally black. So get prepared for it. That's how it's going to work out. But it's coming along good so far. Don't have any funny areas. It's going to be a little weird on that wheel well for the left front. It in the photograph it kind of disappears into the shadow underneath the fender well too. So I'm going to have to be very careful with that because there's a light on it as well, and I want to make sure that I don't put that in shadow, because that's one of the areas that'll help me tell the story of what the shape of the lip is around there. Getting pretty close now. Yeah, getting those 2 wheels and tires that are back in shadows because they're on the right hand side underneath the car, and no light hits down there, so that's what's making that dark. Okay, running out of time for today. We're going to do quite a bit more tomorrow now that we've gotten this far, and I do hope to see you back here then. Thanks for watching, and have a good evening. Thanks.